Let's talk about Bam Margera.
This is the most I've talked in 2 days.
I've got some Bam Margera news for you today, and it's good Bam Margera news. Now, I'm going to clip this. I'm going to make it something for people to watch independent of the live shows. If you're watching this Bam Margera clip, we're on Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. Central Time, or 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Wednesday. Now, usually when we cover Bam Margera, especially over the last 2 years, it's been drugs, alcohol,
sex.
It's been domestics. It's been getting arrested. It's been physically attacking people. It's been being a complete mess on and off camera, getting kicked out of movies, the whole deal, losing friends, losing family. The last straw recently was when Bam Margera made a video that he said he was going to go do crack with all the bums until he OD'd and died unless people let him see his son. He was put on a 5150 psychiatric hold. And Lamar Odom came to see him, and his family basically told him, like, look, if you ever want to see your kid again, you're going to go to rehab. You're going to get clean. Bam Margera finished his psych hold. He then decided to enroll in Lamar Odom's recovery facility. And that's where he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some good news.
He was eaten by a shark?
No.
Oh.
Bam Margera is now speaking to his child. They're letting him speak to his kid now that he's getting help.
Well, that's good. That's positive reinforcement.
That's a wonderful.
That is like when I was potty training Gordy about a year ago.
Same thing, right? Breaking Bam Margera of drug addiction and housebreaking a dog.
If Gordy did a little bit of crack and he shit on the floor because he couldn't hold his crack poops in, you rub his nose in and you'd say, bad boy, potty outside.
You just said crack poops.
Mm-hmm. When he goes and takes crack poops outside, he gets a treat. He's a good boy, potty outside, right? Just like him.
So do you think they'll say to Bam every day at the recovery center, it was a good boy, Bam, no
Who's
crack.
Who's a good boy?
No crack for Bam is a good
Who's
boy.
mommy's good boy?
And instead of a treat, they give him his child. He's just like, good boy, Bam, no crack. Here's a baby. Bam Margera's son, Phoenix, is inspiring him to detox and sober up following a psych hold, and his estranged wife is allowing him to talk to their kid again. I see no problem with this as long as he doesn't touch drugs. He can see his kid as much as he wants.
Agreed.
And
there's going to be no better positive reinforcement than seeing his kid for doing good things.
And it's also the last excuse.
Yes.
You know, if you can't do it for this, what are you going to do it for?
I also do believe that you would be a shitty person to not let him see the kid when he's making improvements.
David DiDomenici says he'll be high again by next week. Look, this is it. This is the last chance for Bam. If you're right, David, and he is high again by next week, then fuck him. Never let him see his kid again. Let him wander off and walk into the ocean or whatever he's going to do. He's done. You wash your hands of him. This is the last time. Because I imagine this is taxing on everyone. Oh. I imagine this is incredibly stressful on everybody around him. So therefore, this is it. This has got to be the last one for him because there's no more excuses after this. This is the one where now even you've said, I've got to do this for my son. If you can't do it for your son, you're not going to do it for anybody.
Well, and at some point, too, everybody else involved around that child's life needs to move on with their life and stop wondering, okay, are we going to give Bam another chance today or not? Like, you got to cut that off or you got to go all in and be like, okay, we're getting better now.
Well, not only that, he's got to get clean this time because if he doesn't get clean this time, I mean, you're in real danger of the money running out, too.
Not only that, but health-wise. Somehow drug addicts always do seem to live far longer than you would have guessed, but it'll run out someday.
Yeah. Nikki Margera's attorney tells TMZ she's given the green light for Bam and Phoenix to start communicating, and they're talking over FaceTime while Bam is in rehab. Bam's FaceTime sessions with Phoenix are being modulated by one of Bam's therapists, and so far, things are going well. I think they mean moderated or modulated. Doesn't sound like the right word. Sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ Bam is still in treatment at one of Lamar Odom's rehab facilities, and Nikki is not talking to him on the FaceTime calls. Good. Nor should she. I mean, he's been a real piece of shit to her.
No, not only that, but like every time her name's brought up, he gets really hostile. Like, I really don't think that those two should ever communicate again. There should be like a, what do you call them? Like a go-between or a mediator.
A mediator.
Yeah. That's fine. As long as, and I think it's good too that a therapist is in on the current conversations with his kids so he doesn't say some shit that's, like too, I don't know.
Fauci's Pangolin says, if Bam gets better, what will you do on a slow news day? Well, I don't know. I mean, Amanda Bynes got committed again, so.
Oh, yeah, she's really not doing so hot.
Yeah, Amanda Bynes is committed, so there's plenty of. Look,
Britney's due for something.
Yeah, if you're asking me, Aaron, if a Hollywood celebrity doesn't go apeshit anymore, what are you going to fill that time with? Come on. Sources say that Bam usually dominates the FaceTime conversations with 5-year-old Phoenix, with dad typically going on for about 5 minutes. That's not abnormal if you have a small child. They don't really say much on the phone. Or
No, they really don't.
Yeah, it's mostly
we've
for you.
We've had that experience with the kids before where it's a birthday or something and we can't be together. And
yeah, you talk to them or something.
Okay. Or how was school, guys? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never very interesting.
We'll see you tomorrow. You ready for your party? Yeah, I'm excited. Or for that, they'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, well, what do you want to do at your party? Oh,
I don't know.
Well, so
really,
I can see why he'd do most of the talking.
Usually, phone calls to children are more for the adult than the child.
Yeah,
I think.
Sure. Right. As first reported, Bam's been detoxing since June 7th, so that means tomorrow's 2 weeks clean.
Yes.
After LAPD put him on a 5150 psychiatric hold following a video rant where he threatened to end his life if he couldn't see his son. Well, I tell you what, man, it's a good thing. Look, everyone who criticizes our Bam coverage, they always think I'm trying to shit on Bam or I'm just purposely trying to, beat the guy up or whatever. I'm really not. I'd like to see him get better. It's just that he hasn't shown the track record, the ability to get better.
Yeah, I think sometimes people really do read this show wrong. It's like, no, we're just really observing on how things have been, and we want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
It's just there's been nothing to do.
I can't give you hope where it doesn't exist.
Right.
And Bam has not given anybody
reason,
any reason to be positive about his recovery. Now, this time, I'm skeptical as all hell. There's always that moment where you take the clean person and you have to send him back out into the world, into temptation and all that other stuff. And what do you do?
Right. Can you imagine being in Nikki's shoes where she's hung around for years and she's with an addict that's always said, I'll get clean and and you love them, so you believe them every time. We've seen relationships with alcoholics or addicts before. They always say they'll do better next time.
Yeah, so it's and very rarely do they.
Very rarely.
So I think he's going to do great in Lamar Odom's program. I think he'll do a good job, getting clean while he's in there. But then again, once the doors open to the outside world, all bets are off. And I will say, if I'm a betting man, I would bet against Bam staying sober. This, this is it. I do have a hard time believing that this is the end of the road for Bam's sobriety issues. He's never going to have another issue ever again after this one. I don't buy that.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how recovery works. I think you go through trials, and it's if you can get through it or not. If you can resist.
He might, what I'm saying is he might relapse again, and then there's a chance after he relapses once, he goes back in, he gets cleaned up again, he comes back. This could be a work in progress. Do I think he's going to go right back to, I'm going to smoke crack with the bums and falling apart and being a mess? I do think that's about as close to rock bottom as the guy's possibly going to get.
Can you?
But I think we'll see him leave that place clean, and I think he'll stay clean for a good long while, 6 months to a year. But I don't think we're done with Bam Margera probably relapsing ever again.
Well, I hope, though, what would be growth is if he does relapse again, is that if immediately when he notices himself doing that, is if he would reach out for help.
Right.
And start doing that quicker and quicker every time, because every recovering addict needs a support system.
Magic 8 Ball says if Robert Downey Jr. could do it. Well, I mean, yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts, Robert Downey Jr. There's a lot of guys who have kicked the stuff. The only problem is for every guy who's kicked the stuff,
there's 10 of them.
Thousands. There's thousands of people who haven't.
Wouldn't it be such a weird thing if Lamar Odom's the one to clean up Bam?
Yeah, like he's the
That's
DDP of celebrities.
That'd be cool.
Like he does for celebrities what DDP does for pro wrestlers.
Heartwarming, kind of.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Kind of nice. Speaking of famous people in a little bit of trouble, Tyreek Hill, I just saw this.
Again.
Tyreek Hill is under police investigation, TMZ Sports has confirmed, after the NFL star was accused of getting physical with somebody in Miami on Sunday. He's had problems with hitting women.
A little hitty.
Yeah. Oh, he's 29 already? Ooh. Only a few years left for old Tyreek Hill. Hill has been the subject of police investigations before, most notably back in 2019. He was named in a child abuse report, though he was never charged with a crime in that case. Okay, so it was child abuse.
So he was named, though, but not charged.
Named, but not charged.
That's important, too.
This is what we know about the situation so far.
Under investigation by Miami-Dade police. And Local 10 News has learned the wide receiver allegedly hit a man working at Haulover Marina. Hill shared an Instagram story showing a Father's Day celebration on a boat Sunday morning. Then, later that day around 6 p.m., according to a tip received by...
He got fucked up.
Mm.
Later that
about
6 hours later, when he was on a yacht for Father's Day, 6 hours later, translation, after he'd been drinking all afternoon.
Were your kids there?
He beat the fuck out of a guy.
You know what
Local
I mean?
10, Hill got into some kind of disagreement with an employee of one of the charter companies based at Haulover Marina that apparently ended with Hill hitting the man. It's unclear if that man was injured, but on Monday, we did see Miami-Dade police at the marina, and on Tuesday, the department confirmed an investigation was underway involving Hill.
I mean, and then they go into the Drew Rosenhaus thing right away. But, like, you're going to hit the guy. I'm sorry, but if a marina employee gets punched in the head by an NFL star who's been drinking on a boat for 6 hours, I'm usually willing to side with the marina employee.
Yes.
I'm willing to think that he probably has a better leg to stand on than the shit-faced, multi-millionaire wide receiver.
I really hope Tyreek's kids weren't around to see him do that.
Kaya Mall with $5 says, have a great evening. Get better, April.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, buddy.
On the mend.
Buddy Travis says, relapse is real. I quit meth and replaced it with alcohol 2 days without drinking, and I drank every day, like 4 shots and a 6-pack every day. Oh, shit, you're toasty then.